I would like to leave it to the states because, frankly, every state is different. Every state has different cost of living and everything else. And I would like to leave it to the states. But I will tell you, $7.25 is pretty tough. And as far as I'm concerned, I could see something happening there. But I would leave it to the states because, you know what, the states have to compete with each other.
Joining me right now is Citizens United President David Bossie. Sir, good to have you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Your take on Trump's response to minimum wage.
I think it's a perfect response. Look, Donald Trump is saying that he sympathizes with the American worker. It's what's got him to this point so far in this process. I got to tell you, the answer of the states is a great answer, but really it's about the markets, right, Maria? It is really about whether or not businesses can afford a higher minimum wage, which I think everybody would love to have in theory. It just can't work out if you have to transfer those costs to the consumer, and that's really what this is all going to come down to.
Yeah, okay, so in terms of his stance on taxes, his stance on getting the economy back to a sustainable growth level, do you think this plan will work?
Oh, I certainly hope so. Look, Donald Trump is a very smart, but Donald Trump's a very smart guy, and his tax plan that he released 10 days ago or so is a smart plan. I think, look, we have a unique opportunity here in America to not just look to the constant problems that we have, but look to a promising future. And I think that's one of the reasons that Donald Trump says, let's make America great again, and why people are flocking to him in droves is because he has that optimistic message of the future.
Yeah. Let me ask you about Hillary and Bernie Sanders going into West Virginia. We've been talking a lot about this being coal country, that, Trump will resonate huge in West Virginia, and Hillary, of course, made those comments about, cutting jobs in coal. What's your take on that race, Hillary-Bernie in West Virginia tomorrow?
She's going to get smoked, I think, in West Virginia. She is in deep trouble there. But does it matter? I
mean, does it matter? She's winning.
Of course
David.
It matters.
Okay.
Of course it matters, and here's why it matters.
Okay.
No one thought that the Republican nomination would be settled before the Democrat coronation. This matters because Hillary Clinton, instead of pivoting to the general election, which she's trying to do on a day here and a day there, but she can't take her eye off Bernie Sanders because he's dangerous. Yeah. He's threatening a floor fight. He is going to, look, she's going to end up being the nominee. That's not really in question, but it's the fight. She can't raise money toward the general. She can't focus on the issues of the general. She can't focus on Donald Trump.
David, the Washington Post is reporting today that there are many evangelical leaders that are concerned about Trump as a nominee because they're concerned about the socially conservative issues that they care about most. Yes. And they don't think he's been very vocal about things like gay marriage, with the transgender bathroom issues, right-to-life issues. And I know that you've produced documentaries on some of these socially conservative subjects. Are you concerned at all about Donald Trump's commitment to socially conservative causes that evangelical conservatives care about?
Yeah, look, I think that there's right to want to be concerned. I'm not worried. There's a difference. I want to make sure that Donald Trump, listen, the thing that has gotten him to this point is he's not a professional politician. He does not have a 20-year voting record or policy papers going back to his college days talking about these positions. One of the reasons people are concerned is they don't know where he's going to be. So you really need, he's going to take some time to have to explain these issues, and I think he's going to be solid on them. I know he's pro-life. I know the man. I think he is, in his heart, a pro-life conservative, and that makes me feel comfortable over the course of all of the issues. And he said he's going to repeal Common Core, which I think is another very big issue for social conservatives.
But you can understand why the Paul Ryans of the world or the GOP House leadership are questioning whether or not he's doing a departure from the principles when you have him talking about minimum wage, when you have him talking about taxes going higher. Truthfully, he basically is saying he's not going to raise taxes on the wealthy beyond what we are seeing today, but that's an elimination of loopholes, et cetera. But the minimum wage increasing, that's a new one. We didn't hear that during the primary season. So you can understand the reticence on the House GOP side.
Well, I can, but let me just, I understand their concern. I'm concerned. No, and I was concerned 4 years ago when Mitt Romney was nominated. I was concerned 8 years ago when John McCain was nominated for different reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a part of the process we all go through. Paul Ryan's going to have to get on board. There's no question about that. He is either going to have to get on board or his speakership and potentially his seat in Congress. Remember, his primary is not for a couple of months, and he's got a real competition there. And Donald Trump has sent a few surrogates out to say, Paul Ryan better get on board. And look, I think that's a position of strength, but he also has to be very careful with that.